So the very first thing we want to do is we want to write the connection to the API. So we want to get our app to the GET request API call. Are you okay? And remember what I'm telling you, we're writing this bare bones. We're using no libraries, well, some libraries, but we're using very basic libraries. We're creating a utility class. They're not really something that's used in industry anymore, but you have to understand what you are doing. Otherwise, the libraries are going to kick your butt. Okay. So when your app is ready, you want to go and create, what have I done here? I haven't created a new app. I'm sorry. Okay, so if you want to follow me, we need an empty activity. And I'm going to call mine Simple Weather 2022, because I've written quite a few of these. And just be sure to change your example there if you have it, because that's going to cause you a lot of pain. Okay. And set your language to Java. And remember to be careful with your minimum API. Okay. So this is Simple Weather app. There's nothing crazy happening. So I'm going to push my minimum all the way back to Marshmallow so that we reach 96% of devices. Okay. Remember that now a device that runs KitKat cannot see this app on the Play Store. It cannot download it. It can never use it. Okay. So your min API is where you decide how far backwards compatible your app is. Right. And let Android do its thing. And if you are sitting here waiting for me, go and create a new class and call it Network Util. Okay. And we're going to do due diligence for the ugly old app so that we understand the sparkly nice app. Yeah? Okay, so in this app, what we are covering is API calls and fragments. Right. So we don't have all those activities in Android, so we do it all in one screen. And then guys, if you get stuck, help each other. A quiet class is a bad class. It must just never be too noisy for me to get your attention. But you need to help each other, okay? Network util. So I'm going to help you. Okay, so I'm just going to go add that little class. So you're just going to add a new Java class. And you want to call it Network util, or you can type out utility if just typing util makes you feel ill. Okay. All right, and we're going to start. So what we are building now is the URL to connect to the API. Are you okay? Yes. All right. So some of the code that is in the module guide for this is now deprecated. So we are just going to update the code. Okay, and then give it to the module guide person. So if you are someone that follows the module guide, the async method that's used in there is deprecated. We no longer use it. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys how to handle deprecation as well. Okay, you have two options. You can keep the deprecated code and be an owner, or you can go see what replaced it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to connect to this is some strings. Okay, so the first thing that we want is we're going to have, can't remember if it has to be private. So let's just do a static string or a final string. Let's not go static. So let's just go do, and you're going to call this one base URL. Okay. The first way we are doing this is deeply not secure. Okay, the API key is going to be placed as we can see it. All that stuff we will secure later. Okay. Yeah? I can. I first have to plug in a mouse. Hold on. And you guys want to go grab the base URL from AccuWeather, from that stuff that we've been playing with. No, but there will be a separate field for API key. I think my mouse is dead. Oh no, kidding. Actually, can't remember. Is it under preferences? Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go to AccuWeather and we're going to grab that. It signed me out. Bust. Sorry. Okay, so this is our base URL. So we're going to stick that base URL in here, including the city key, but the city key shouldn't be in those curly brackets. So 305605. Okay, so that's the first little thing that we want to stick in there, is that base URL. Okay. Okay, then the next one should be no surprise. It should be our API key. So you're going to go grab your API key. Just remember, guys, that this is really not secure. Right? This is pretty bad, but we're just learning. But when you go to work, never, ever do this. Okay. You would store that in an environment variable that is injected through your CI pipeline, which I will show you guys how to do. Okay. So remember what I said, we're going to work hard this semester because I need to now think about you and your job. Okay. And let that sink in. July, August, September, October, November, cheers. Okay. Fine job, don't suck. Okay, so we're going to then give our API key. I'm going to look at GitHub because I can't remember all of it. Right. And we're just going to talk about what this param API key is, so I'm going to stick in there now. I did private static final in the last one. I don't know if that was the best idea. We'll see. Okay, so the next one you want to stick in, and we can make these all then private static finals, because they really cannot change. We'll see if it gives us grief. Okay, so you guys now understand that no one can see this variable private. There's only one instance of it static, and final is global throughout the whole application. Yes? Okay, so everywhere you can see it, can use it. So let me just talk to you about what this API key is here. If we now look at this call we made here, do you guys see API key there? Do you see that we have the base URL? There it is. Do you see it? That's the base URL that we're sticking into our app right here. It's the same thing. So stopping at 30605, base URL. Okay, there's our API key. But before our API key, there is the query parameter. Do you see that? Where we say, expect a parameter. That's what that question mark means. Okay? Expect a single parameter from me. If it was more than one parameter, it would be an ampersand if we're sending more than one. Okay, question mark says, I'm sending one parameter. The parameter is API key. So this is when they set the parameter in the API to say, look for this thing. Am I making sense? So they wrote API key. If we change this anyway, if we do it wrong, and we give an underscore or something, if we don't send the parameter correct, we are going to get a false response from the API. You're going to see 401, fish bad, not happy, don't want it. Ha, you see that? And it's going to give us this response where it says, fail to resolve API key variable because the parameter that is given in the code that is expected argument is written like this. Are you guys okay? That's why it's really important to look at the documents of an API So if you go to API reference, it will tell you what it wants the API key to look like, and it's different for different sites. You are going to see it will look different for the other weather app that we are writing. Okay, so here it tells you, must look like this. Are you guys okay? So if I go fix that API key now, we will have no more issues. And the other thing as well is, did I make sure that this is HTTPS? Okay. We also have to make sure in our app that this HTTP is HTTPS, because Android will not let you connect in plain HTTP. Okay, it's going to throw an error. Will somebody remind me to show you the error so you can remember it when it hits you? Okay, because you have to actually force Android to do that. You have to go into the manifest and say allow clear text traffic. Android doesn't accept anything that's not encrypted. Not that HTTPS is great, but it's something. Okay, so the next thing is, remember our app was in Fahrenheit and we don't want it in Fahrenheit. So the next thing we want to see is private static final string metric. And we're going to set that to Celsius. I have to go see what they want. Hold. Metric. Sorry, we don't even say Celsius. We have to say metric. Like I said, we have to ask, look what they are asking. It's metric. Oh, never. When this app is finished, you can have it. And only then. Okay, so it's metric. I will share this GitHub with you guys happily once we finish this app, and I know you can write it. Okay, so it's not Celsius, it's called metric. Is that? Yeah. Because the other one's imperial. Yes. I'm not a weather person. Okay, and then we're going to say private static final string metric parameter equals true. Okay, so what we are giving it here is everything we need to do the API call, the API key. We're not caring about language. What we are not sending, it's going to take defaults. Come in, now it's going to kill you. Okay, but we are saying that we want metric. And do you see it as a Boolean value here in the API? It will tell you what it wants. Do you see this? It tells you these are the queries you can use. So we could change the language as well, and then we would have appended language. Do you guys see that? And we could have changed the details. But we are just going to use metric. So this will tell you the names of the parameters. And it tells you here query parameters, yeah?
If we don't specify, is there a
default? Yeah, what you see here, it's going to give you English US, and that's why it talks about weird things. You guys will see. We can make it English UK, but and then we just have to append this correctly. Yeah, it will use the defaults, and we can see that this is European English. Let me just send that request again. Oh, I didn't put the API key in there. Failed to resolve API key. Okay, but I'm not going to waste time to do it now. But basically, you will see that it is American English because they talk about weird things. Okay. All right, so this is the basis we need to make a URL. But that URL needs to be formatted properly. So if we look at this URL, this has to be appended. That has to be appended into that URL. We can't just pluck strings together. Do you understand? It's not going to work. It needs to be a proper URL. So we start with a URI. Do you guys know what the difference between a URI and a URL is? Is anybody going to look for us? What's the difference between a URI and a URL? So what's the difference between a URI and a URL?
URL identifies the describe the identity of the item, and the URI provides a technique to identify the item.
Say that again. It's right, but say it again.
The URL is used to describe the identity of the item, and the URI provides a technique for defining the identity of the item.
Okay. Yeah, and often you can think about URI as the pieces put together. Okay. So we're just going to alt and enter to import the URI class. It will come up there as an import Okay, so that's one. And we are now going to go build this URI with a URI builder. And we'll convert the URI to a URL. Okay, and then we'll try it out and see if it works. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to collect a little method. Actually, I forgot about that. So we're going to make a public static method because there can only be one called build URL. Hey, public static URL. Build URL. Now I just need to see that I have the right URL there because there's many. Yeah, I did. Okay, and just also ask an enter to import that URL class. Okay. And then we are going to say URI equals I think it's URI builder. URI.pass. Okay. It's going to say URI.pass, and we're going to give it first our base URL. So I'm going to stop there for a second. So we're saying we would like a URI. We are giving you a whole bunch of strings. Please build us a URI. Okay. We say we're going to give it the base URL, and then we're going to say dot. I think it's append upon or append. Let me just see which one they want. Build upon. Okay, so now we need to go see what comes next. And I'm showing you guys how to look at these things so that if it's a different API, you'll cope. You understand? So then what comes right after this? Okay, so we stopped at where's the other thing? We stopped here. So what comes right after it? It's that API key parameter. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So then we go say, oops. Param API key. And then I think we have append. So let's just see what the code is actually. No, append query parameter, yeah. Okay. Oh, I've done this backwards. Hold on. Add to it, and then, wait. We want to append a query parameter. Okay, and the first one we want to do is param API key. And then append another one. Just see why Android is moaning at me. Once.build, just don't worry. And somewhere we have to pass this thing metric. Oh, that's what we have to do. Hold on. Param API, param API key. Now I've broken some stuff. So add query parameter. Then we're going to say metric parameter. Come on, metric. And we're going to end with .build. Okay, so all we are saying is take our base URL, build upon it by adding 2 query parameters. Are you guys okay with that? We want to ask, we are working with, and if we go back to the API, and it's just right here because it wants a return statement. If we go back at the API, we are giving it the API key and the metric, and that's the parameter, the actual value, the parameter, and the actual value. Are you guys okay? And we can see this in code that we're giving it the parameter, the actual value, the parameter, the actual value. You guys okay? I might have these two backwards. We'll see. All right. I do have them backwards. Okay, listen, I've named this like my butt. Oh, Serena. No, that is correct. Okay, we'll see if it's wrong as we go. So this will return us a URI, but we need a URL. Okay, so now we're going to say URL equals. And we have to go build the URL. So we're going to use build URL URI. Okay, let's just see if I've done the right one there. Oh, we're going to have to put this in a try catch. Okay, hold on, let's do it the other way. So we're just going to say URL. Just set it to null for now. Okay. And I think we can just start adding the code and Android will tell us it wants the, So URL equals new.
Ma'am, can you please wait for 2 seconds?
Yes. I'll stop right there. I want to see if the IntelliSense is going to ask us to add the try catch. Okay. So all we've done so far is we've given a base URL and we said append to it 2 queries. Okay. Using the URI method and the URI class. What I will do is I will stick this in Teams if you want to, but if you copy and paste, it's your own stupidness. So listen, can we use the old group team and I'll just put the invite code in your WhatsApp group and you guys can just join. Can we do that?
Yes.
Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. Well, no, we'll do that in the next class. Because you guys, Teams is not exactly built for code. I want us to move to Discord. Now, there is a formatting here, but very often it throws this as a table. It's really annoying. Did I talk to you guys about Discord in first semester? Yeah, we abandoned the Discord server. That's not nice. Okay, I'm giving you guys the invite. Hold on. No. Don't look at my WhatsApp. There is the code for this team. Okay. You're on this team. Okay, so for those of you that want to move along, there is the class, but if you just copy and paste it, you're going to be like, it's not smart. Okay. Okay. What? This is what must I say again? Oh, must I send the thing on the group again? That is to join the group 2 team. So you're all in one team? Sorry, that wasn't very clear. So we have two options, you guys. We can move onto a Discord server. And as those of you that don't know how to Discord, we'll show you. But it's just easier for code and screen sharing and everything you need to do. Also, if you need me to help you, it's a lot quicker for me than to have to schedule a Teams call and then find you online. No, we can't vote, and I'll tell you why we can't vote. After we've coded up this class, we'll talk about Discord. We have to get something working today. Can I carry on here? Don't make too much noise. Okay, so it should be that if we go now and we say we are calling the build URL method to toString, so we are passing it the whole method. Do you guys see this? And we'll get this little light bulb that's going to start moaning. We're going to get moans here because it wants us to add an exception to the method signature or to surround with a try catch. Are you guys getting that? You see the URL there tells you, no, don't do this without exception handling. This can go wrong. Do you see that? Are you all getting that red underline? So just double click on it or hover around until you find your little bulb and then say surround with try catch. Okay, and this malformed exception E here, it's printed to the stack trace, but I'm pretty sure we can also toast it. We've never done that, but we're about to find out. Woo, if we can spell toast. No, I want Andrew to do it for me. I don't want to write all the code. And this is... No, we actually should not toast from here. We'll toast from the other screen, okay, because this is going to want the context. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to return the URL. Are you guys okay? So what we do is we have build URL. It's a type URL that wants to return a URL. We create a URI where we stick all our stuff together, and then we convert that to a URL. Okay, so we're now going to go into the main activity and test this guy out. You guys all right? We have to see if our URL actually is formatted and if it works. Okay. If you want to carry on, I gave you the. Oh, you got to join or yeah. Sorry. If you want to carry on, you can now go into your main activity and in the onCreate, you want to go call this URL class, return the URL, and probably log it with logcat. Okay, with log I. So if you want to carry on, go into your main activity, in onCreate, return that, get that URL from the network util class. Just know that this is static, so it's going to work a bit different from the network util class, and we're just going to log it so we can click on it. Okay. What I can do is, yeah, if I give you this code, you're just going to copy it. Bad habits. Line 30. That's not me. That's auto-completed code.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This came about because of this. Look. If you just say URL equals new URL, it's going to underline URL. You're going to have an error. If you move your mouse to the side or if you hover, you'll get that little red light bulb.
Okay.
And you're just going to say surround with try catch. Okay. Okay, so let's go see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to go to the main activity. We're going to say URL, our URL, oops, Serena. Or let's just call it equals network user, yeah, dot build URL. Okay, that's easy and very nice because of static. Okay. And then you can just log it. Okay. Okay, run your code, get into Logcat, find that URL. Okay, so I'm going to run mine. And then we're going to go into Logcat and see if we can find that URL. And if we click on it, does it give us JSON? Okay, it says the app is running. Let's go into Logcat. And let's go, oh, something crashed. Did something wrong. It's not happy about network util line 29. Let's go see why. That's a fatal error. That's never pleasant. Let's see why it's upset. So why is it unhappy about line 29? Okay, let me go see what I stuffed up on line 29. Nothing. Okay, let's see. Yeah.
Am I calling the same method inside the method?
What about it?
Can we call build URL? Method name is build URL.
Oh, we're supposed to do build URI. Sorry. No, let me see what I was supposed to do. Yeah, URI.post. Go. No, let me see what I'm supposed to do. Hold on, I'm pretty sure that's what I was supposed to do.
The method name should be build URL for
No, that's the class. Oh, yeah, okay, I see what I did. Okay, so I broke this. I just called it URI. Okay, let's run it again. And fix yours, and let me know if you can get that Logcat. Okay, it's not crashing yet. Okay, do you see my URL there? Can you find yours? So do you see there's that little URL that we're logging? And if we click on it, we'll very quickly know if we did it right. Oh, it's working! So go find your URL. You guys, if you have lots of output, you can also search for the tag. Okay, so you can just search for that. Or you can search for... Okay. The others, can you find your link? Can you guys find your link? Can you click it? Liam, can you find your link?
Like, I don't have entrance to install now. I told you, like, my whole podcast.
Okay. Right, I'm going to come help you find your links, and then we're going to push this code to GitHub. Okay, together as a class, because you cannot leave here without using GitHub properly. Okay? Are you okay without a laptop? Are you in my class or are you just visiting? Just visiting. Okay. I want you to make the tag. So you just can say select minus string tag for the inside of everyone. Guys, just for logging, I'm sorry I didn't show you this clearly. For logging in the main activity, you have to go make the tag. Okay, and that's that what comes up here. Sorry about that, I should have showed you that nicely. We'll do it nicely. I just want everybody to get their URLs out. You can steal it. So how many of you can see that URL in your code? You broke it. What happens if you click it? Oh, it's just because you didn't do a class. Okay, it's really simple. That's why. We run your It's not if it's been an hour. Anybody with errors, broken stuff? Go. I need you to click on that.
What about the
your other problem? Yeah. Go look at your URL. What's the error you're getting? What's it learning about on your website? Your API key is wrong. It is working? You okay? Oh, you're running away. So not giving you a break. Alright, link is ready? Let's do it. Listen. Awesome. Now let's do the one again. Let's go to the space. As soon as you see so I think this is just your local pattern.
No, but the on-create means other than wait, but they both have different sizes. It's the same.
You must put HTTPS if you're looking for the check that you might be based on HTTPS. Because I would want to show it that there's no S.
No, it's strong and that's stamina, but still it's not difficult. I think that's what I mean. Oh, no, I mean, okay, then, alright. So, you lost.
repository has to be
5 months. You can just analyze 25. That's a lot. 5 kg.
Okay. Right. Just breathe. Let's just do the stand-up team thing. Listen. Okay. Let's do this. Go look for circleci.com. Okay, so go look for circleci.com. This is from me to you absolutely for free. Okay? This is stuff that you're going to use in your job every day. This is why they're going to hire you and not some nincompoop from a public. Okay? Pay attention. Okay. Right. Now, I just have to figure out, because I'm already signed into this commercially.
Usually has sign up.
Does this have sign up? Okay, you want to use sign up with GitHub. Okay, so this is Circle CI. This is the DevOps pipeline. Okay, this is Vlad. He works with me on a commercial project. Very nice guy. He wants everybody to know he's from the Ukraine. He's not Russian. Okay, this pipeline runs SonarQube, it runs a security scan, and it builds an Android app. Okay, so if you look at the build and test, it runs a lint test, it assembles an APK, it does all of that for us. And then if I go back into GitHub, into my GitHub, this is what you should see. Okay, I'm going to go into... Okay. So you'll see that little green tick right here. Do you see it? Okay. If you click that green tick, and if you guys start taking stuff from GitHub repos now, you're going to start looking for that tick. Because if that tick is not there, that code is crap. Okay. You're going to start clicking on this, and the first thing you're going to see is here is the Sonar Cloud code analysis. Okay. If I click on details, it's going to tell us, boy, Vlad. Okay, there's 25 issues in this code. There's currently 25 code smells. If we click on it, it's going to show us what it's unhappy with. Okay, project does not exist. Okay, I'm not logged in, and I don't know. Do it. Okay, so that's the first thing you guys are going to put your app through, is this will tell you what is good and what is bad. Are you guys okay? So this will give us code smells. It will give us code complexity. It will give us hotspots. So if I go look at the summary, it's going to tell us how reliable this code is, how maintainable this code is, if there's any security issues, the number of duplications, and we're going to set a quality gate, which means if your code does not meet the standard, you fail the test. Okay, so that's what we're going to set up first. All right. So sign up to CircleCI. You guys sign up to CircleCI. And somebody needs to show us what they see, because I can't sign up for CircleCI anymore. Yeah, so it will pick up your GitHub and choose your repository or your GitHub account. Is it asking you different repos there? Okay, no, organizations is correct, but you want to use the one that's your account's name. So go to CircleCI, say sign up with GitHub.
Well, that's the access control. It's like saying what's code in for your account you can access. I did anything and now I accept. I signed in anything have an account. And it's just everything.
Okay, so add everything you want to CircleCI, okay? And then we will hook it up to SonarQube. Okay. I'll have to show you how to hook that up to SonarQube. Okay, so let's just do this. If you can all just sign up to CircleCI and get your GitHub in there, we'll do SonarQube in the next class. Okay, because what we're starting to do is building your DevOps pipeline. So that every time you merge your code to master, it deploys your app. Okay, and we're going to have to look at how to set your repos up properly as well. So if you are successfully signed up to CircleCI, I think we can call it a day. If your link is working, your code is on GitHub, and you're signed up to CircleCI, and you have added me to your GitHub repository as a collaborator. You can do that from home still. Tulsian. Not sure.
I made it private, that's fine. But I from GitHub. I did from Android Studio.
That's fine.
Nothing showing.
We have to talk about it. Are you guys using Android Studio to push to Git?
Yeah. I normally just zip the phone and put it in. Yeah, transing.
Okay. Do you guys want me to go through how to push code to GitHub? Next week, just sign up for CircleCI. Today we'll push to GitHub. No, tomorrow, people. Tomorrow. Because you have prog. Okay. So if you want to do data science, you have to listen in data structures and algorithms, okay? All right, so get your GitHub link to CircleCI. We'll do some, how do I stop recording? See, nobody said stop recording.